storm targets Florida.
There is a hurricane warning. Storm surge could reach 8 to 12 feet.
University shaken by deadly gunfire.
The emergency siren sounded, notifying campus and issuing a lockdown.
Worm found in woman's brain.
It was alive and wriggling, and our neurosurgeon took it out.
Good morning. I'm Steve Capen with the CBS World News Roundup. A few hours ago, Idalia became a Category 1 hurricane. It's barreling toward Florida's Gulf Coast, and CBS's Omar Villafranca says Governor Ron DeSantis warns it could strengthen to a Category 3.
Pretty much anybody on the west coast of Florida, you can see major impact.
As Idalia churns towards the Gulf Coast, Floridians are getting ready for the worst. Loading up on sandbags, gas, and groceries. Cases of bottled water were scarce as people like Miranda Connolly and her 2 young children stocked up on the basics.
For right now, we're just going to prepare the exterior of the house, and we're just going to make sure we have our food and water.
21 counties along Florida's Gulf Coast are currently under some type of evacuation order as Idalia threatens to bring up to 12 feet of storm surge to some areas, and the potential for at least 111-mile-per-hour sustained wind. Satellite imagery from Monday afternoon showed the storm on its march toward Cuba, where it dumped heavy rain, leaving flooding and the potential for landslides in its wake. Idalia comes less than a year after Hurricane Ian slammed Florida's Gulf Coast as a Category 4 storm, killing more than 150 people in the U.S., and costing the state a record $109.5 billion.
Now to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, where thousands were under lockdown for hours yesterday. CBS's Jeff Pegues reports a faculty member was shot and killed and a suspect under arrest.
Gunshots, possible active shooter on campus.
Police received a call around 1 p.m. Monday reporting shots fired on campus.
I heard one gunshot, and then I've been hearing like sirens and all of that.
An alert went out to students and staff to shelter in place. For hours, thousands on the campus barricaded themselves in classrooms and dorms while law enforcement evacuated each room looking for the gunman. Some students were seen tossing their bags before jumping out of a second-floor window.
Graduate shooting wearing a gray shirt, armed with a 9mm.
A member of the faculty, the only victim, according to police.
The shooting damages the trust and safety that we so often take for granted.
Correspondent Manuel Bojorquez is in Jacksonville with more on what happened before the weekend racist shooting at a store.
The gunman was captured on video entering another discount store nearby. He held the door for a few people, even purchased items. But Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters says a security officer in the parking lot may have thwarted any other plans.
It doesn't appear to me that he wanted to face anyone that may cause him any issues.
10 minutes after leaving, surveillance video captured him putting on what appears to be a bulletproof vest in the parking lot of Edward Waters University, a historically black college. Students saw him and alerted campus security officer Lieutenant Antonio Bailey.
They stated that they seen an individual that was putting on what appeared to be a tactical vest, and that we needed to check that vehicle out.
Bailey can be seen approaching the gunman, who then speeds off to Dollar General.
There are new images of Paul Whelan, the American who's serving a 16-year prison term in Russia. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Whelan hasn't been seen for months, but he appeared on a Kremlin-backed news channel. Its reporter visited the prison in May.
For the past couple of years, this penitentiary, hidden in the embrace of a thick and remote Russian woodland, has been the home of Paul Whelan, a former U.S. Marine who was found guilty of espionage.
While Whelan's brother David called Russia Today the worst sort of propaganda, he said it was good to see Paul and the determination in his eyes. The Biden administration calls the charges against him baseless and says he was targeted because he's an American citizen.
The Biden administration came out this morning with its list of 10 prescription medicines, including the blood thinner Eliquis, that will be subject to the first ever price negotiations by Medicare. 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 66